Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey and Literature. I'm your host, Captain Mike, and I'm excited because today we're talking about whiskey. This is my 10 bottles, one store, and 2-day bottle haul. These are 10 bottles that I bought on separate weeks, on Tuesday both days, 1 week apart. Pretty excited about this haul, and I want to share it with you. And I know when you see this haul, you're going to think, Captain Mike, 5 of those bottles, WTF, because I think the same thing. I bought 5 bottles, or they came with 5 bottles that I would not have gone into the store and bought specifically. You're buying these bottles in packs, and I believe that this is due to the 3-tier system for alcohol, wine, and beer distribution that we have in the United States. So I don't want this video to be too very long. I'm drinking Traveler because I have so many bottles of Traveler in my house now. My default bottle when I don't have something specific to drink, and on all my book videos from now, probably for a while, it's gonna be the Traveler and get these bottles gone. I haven't reviewed the Traveler specifically by itself. A quick review of the Traveler is it's a Buffalo Trace product. Chris Stapleton, he's a teetotaler, so whatever. It's a blended whiskey. It's very like Canadian whiskey to me, that kind of cloying sweetness. Not a huge fan. This is the bottle that perhaps after I've had a couple pours of the good stuff, maybe I'll have a couple pours of this to round out the night, but I'm never gonna start my night with a Traveler. Except I guess when I'm making videos to get rid of these bottles. So last week, I'm sitting in my house, it's in the morning. I happen to usually be off on a Tuesday. My job, we're almost always off on Tuesday, Wednesdays. This Facebook message pops up. And again, this is a plug too. You should be in Facebook groups, I think, or have groups of guys who've got your backs, and when these bottles drop, they can hook you up. So boom, I get a ping, my Facebook, he's got a Stagg pack. I'm in my car in 5 minutes driving this 45-minute drive to go pick this Stagg pack up. As I'm driving there, my phone pings again. He's got a rare character. Don't even know which one it is. Now, I passed on a couple rare characters in Kentucky the last couple times I've been there, and I decided on my way there, I'm like, I'm gonna purchase myself this rare character while I'm there as well. Now, the night before this is going on, the night before, he had dropped some Jim Beam Signature Craft bottles, these 375 milliliter bottles from the early mid-teens. He said he found some bottles somewhere. I don't know if his distributor found some bottles and dropped them off, but it didn't ping my interest enough for me to run out that night on Monday night and go pick those up. But Tuesday, I'm on my way there, and let's go through the bottles that I picked up. And I'm interested, what do you think? Like, how available is this stuff in your area? Here in the Tampa Bay, these bottles are crazy hard to find. If you do find them, they're usually at super elevated prices. Okay, first of all, I'm on my way to get a Stagg pack. Okay, the first Stagg that I bought here in the Bay is not this one. I paid $199 for that bottle, which is honestly the going price at most places for a Stagg, unless you happen to walk into one or at one of the grocery stores and they have one Stagg on the shelf. But those guys, the grocery stores are kind of very frustrating to me because I think the managers purchase a lot of the bottles. I think they running lists in there and they have friends, and guys like me, I just have never walked into a Walgreens or a Publix and there's been a Stagg or an E.H. Taylor barrel proof sitting on the shelf there. Whatever. So I paid $199 for my first bottle of Stagg. I purchased another Stagg pack a month ago from the same retailer. It was a 23C. And I passed a couple, he had another Stagg pack, which was also the 23C. And I kind of passed that one because I already had a bottle. But I run out there, get the Stagg. It seemed like it was a different batch, and it happened to be the 23A. And of course, it came with 2 Travelers. So $149. Let's see what I paid for that. $140 for a Stagg 23A and 2 Travelers. So 23A, just quick specs on that. Let's get the glasses on here. I'm not gonna go deep dive these today. It's 130.2 proof, barrel proof, unfiltered, mash bill unknown. I believe the age is unknown on this as well. I haven't opened any one except for my 22 Bravo, I think is 22B is what I have. So pretty excited to get into this one. And I'm gonna just open all 3 of my Staggs and just have it go at it one night. So now I have my first 3 bottles, $140. What do you think? I was pretty excited to have this. and to expand my collection on the Staggs. That first one I had really blew me away, and but I think since it's been open, it's kind of opened up a little bit, and I can enjoy it more than that first pour I had of my first Stagg. But the Rare Character is the second bottle that I picked up while I was there. And this one I paid $83.71. That's kind of weird. $83.71 for this Rare Character. And I tell you what, I didn't even know what it was. Literally, I just bought it, took it home before I even looked at what it was. So, Rare Character, I think this is a great looking bottle. The label is great. It's got these societies or these groups and these stores from the Tampa Bay First Avenue Bourbon Crew, St. Petersburg Whiskey Society, Tampa Bay Bourbon Boys, Corona Cigar Company, First Avenue Bourbon. Oh, I already said that one. Anyway, selected by Corona Cigar, St. Pete Whiskey Society, Tampa Bay Bourbon, First Avenue, 119.9 proof, 7 years, 4 months. Now, what this is, if you haven't seen this bottle, and again, I think the label looks great. This is a straight rye whiskey finished in Amburana. Yeah, I just finished 3 videos on 3 different bourbons finished in Amburana, and I haven't had this a rye finished in Amburana as well. So pretty excited. Expect this to be super hot and spicy with that Amburana and the straight and the proof. I'm really excited. I think the bottle looks gonna look great. It's gonna look great on my shelf, despite the fact that this white wax on top, this milky looking, I'm not really gonna tell you what I think it looked like initially when I saw it, what I thought this bottle kind of did here, but it's other than the white wax here on top, I think it is a great looking bottle. I'm excited to have that and add it to my collection. So I think these 2 bottles here are solid and worth it. So while I was there, he also, the Jim Beam signature craft that he had were all gone except a few bottles of this Triticale bourbon. Now, Triticale is a hybrid, I believe, of wheat and rye. So this says bourbon, so we know it's at least 51% corn. So probably they just substituted that rye or wheat component for the Triticale. So it's probably corn, Triticale, and some malted barley, but the mash bill is unknown. Hard to find much information on this. This was from 2015. So somewhere this bottle's been sitting for 9 years. And it's an 11-year-old bourbon, 90 proof. I paid $50 for this 375 milliliter bottle. What the MSRP is on this, I don't know. Like, it's a 9-year-old bourbon. So what I think $20 was the original MSRP. And I've read some stuff on the internet. Even in 2017, guys were paying $50 for this bottle. So I'm happy to have it. Definitely off the norm. I do have a couple bottles, I believe, Redwood Empire, that have Triticale in them. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any other bottles that I have that have Triticale in them, but I think I have Redwood Empire that's a 5-grain whiskey, and it has that in there, so haven't opened it. Pretty excited to get into it, and I'm excited to get into this bottle as well. If you've had one of these, I'd be interested to know what your thought is on Rare Character and Triticale, and then a couple random. That was a total of $294.18. And despite what you think, I mean, this here goes for $199 typically here in the Bay just by itself. So the Traveler MSRP is like $35 or $39. I've seen it as low as $25 here in the Bay. Obviously, they're just trying to dump that into the system here. All right. So when I was there last week, he hinted that possibly this week, be looking out, some other stuff might drop. So I was ready. And luckily I was already about halfway out there when I got the ping on the Facebook on Tuesday morning this week that he had a Blanton's pack and an E.H. Taylor pack. I kind of knew what was dropping, so I was kind of ready. I ran out there and was super excited. So let's talk about these 2 packs that I got. The first one here is Blanton's. And I was kind of hoping for the Blanton's Gold, just really kind of did a quick look through the internet, and it seemed like everyone prefers the gold to the straight from the barrel. But what it was Blanton's straight from the barrel. And you know what? I'm excited about this. I have had a pour of this in Traverse City at one of the bars, and I had just, I kind of wasted my money because I had just burnt my tongue on a pizza. And so I I couldn't tell you anything about that pour that I had. But, you know, just look like the normal Blanton's looking bottle, just different, like the bag is different. Obviously the label and everything is just the same, but different. This is dumped on 10/11/23, 127.6 proof from warehouse 8, Rick number 31. So I'm really excited about this bottle. And the Blantons came with, you guessed it, another Traveler. So far I've had Rare Character, Stagg, the Jim Beam, a Blanton's, and 3 Travelers, which is why you can tell I'm just chugging through these Travelers here. And this pack ran me $189. I believe MSRP for the Blanton's single barrel, or straight from the barrel, is $140. If that's off a little bit, feel free to let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's the MSRP for this, as far as I could tell on the internet. So I've only seen a straight from the barrel on the shelf here in the Tampa Bay one time. I've seen a number of golds on the shelf, but I've only ever seen one straight from the barrel, and I couldn't tell you what that price was, but I'm sure it was well over $180. I mean, I bet it was $2.99 or $3.99 for that straight from the barrel. So really excited about having this one and getting into it. So the next one, the other pack that he had, was the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Now this one I've seen in the Bay, and honestly, these retailers, man, they are usually asking $3.99, and I've seen it at $4.99 as well for the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. I've had a couple pours of this at a bar downtown St. Pete. It's good stuff. I've become a big fan of the E.H. Taylor small batch, and I'm excited to have the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. This is 129 proof. Uncut, unfiltered, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Yes, this also came in a pack, and this came with 2 white cognacs. We don't drink a lot of cognac. And if you don't know, these are also a Sazerac product. I looked it up. Now, the MSRP for these are $59.99 each. So these by themselves are $120, but it doesn't matter really what the MSRP is, because these are not bottles that I would have bought normally. I'm not gonna buy that, so it almost doesn't even matter. But this pack here was $240 for the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof and 2 of these. So if you take it at face value, 120 bucks, then this here cost me 120 bucks for an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Now, the MSRP for this, I think, is less than 100 bucks. I think it's like $79, but man, if you've ever found an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof at $79, man, I'd love to hear it. And where were you so lucky to get that? Are you on someone's list somewhere, or you just happen to walk into a ABC or grocery store or somewhere where they had it? Man, I don't know. Here in the Bay, these are running crazy dollars. Now these, you know, I think we're gonna enjoy them, but just kind of not something we're really interested in. So $240. So essentially discounting that 1 Traveler and the 2 cognacs, this pack here, essentially for these 2 bottles, I paid $462. I mean, it did come with the 2 cognacs and the Traveler as well, but really it was for these 2 bottles, I paid $462. So in essence, I had a 10 bottle haul, but only 5 bottles do I really care about. This Jim Beam, the E.H. Taylor, the Blantons, the Rare Character, and the Stagg. And so for that, I paid about 750 bucks. I think, you know, based on what the MSRP is, I overpaid. But based on what these run for in the Bay, I think it's a pretty good deal. Oh, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I actually promised Mrs. Captain that I'm going to Kentucky next month. And I kind of promised her I wouldn't buy any more whiskey. Might be a tough promise to keep, but I did promise I wouldn't buy any more whiskey between now and that trip to Kentucky. We'll see if I can keep that. There's a couple bottles that, and I think she's aware of that. There's a couple bottles out there that if I ran across that I'm just gonna buy it. The Middleton Very Rare 2023, looking for that one, a couple other bottles. If I do run across those ones, no question I'm gonna pick them up, but I think I've stopped. I got enough bottles here I can review and enjoy and go through. That will certainly last me until I go to Kentucky. So thoughts, what do you think? Would you have paid this for these bottles? I saw a couple comments on Facebook. Guys were kind of bagging on this Stagg pack, but I think overall, pretty excited about them and happy to get into them. And do you have a favorite one? I feel like for me, the Stagg's great, this is great, but I'm really looking forward to getting into this E.H. Taylor barrel proof. And you know what? I've never had a rye finish at Amburana, so really excited about that one as well. But which one of these would you be the most excited for? And have you had any of these? Man, I'd love to know. All right, guys, that's it. That was my haul. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to see more of my content. Again, I do both book and whiskey reviews. And for now, you know what to do. I hope you're reading something good and drinking something great. Turn the pages, my friends, and stay thirsty. Cheers.